Kwabena Boateng wins a Ejiso MPP parliamentary primaries as Kwesi Nyantakyi gets 35 votes. Now, let me quickly read that story for you. That again, a few papers also carry that story, but I'll read from citynewsroom.com. And the story says, Kwabena Boateng, the second vice chairman for the Ejiso constituency, has emerged victorious as the new Patriotic Party's parliamentary candidate for Ejiso ahead of the upcoming December polls. Now, Boateng secured 394 votes in Saturday's primaries, outperforming his closest competitor, Helena Mensah, who garnered 302 votes. Ya Achema Abuaje trailed with 229 votes. Now, former GFA president, Kwesi Nyantakyi, who had been hospitalized before the primary, received a minimal 35 votes. Now, Dr. Evans Dua polled 63, Portia Champon Abronye got 6 votes, and Klinsman Kakari Mensah and Aaron Prince Dua garnered 2 votes respectively. Jacqueline Abnapukia Amwa Boite scored 0. And the story goes on there. Let me start with you, Kapote, on this one.
Well, I observed the process, and I would say that I think congratulations to Kwabena Boateng elect, and then congratulations to all the persons who actually contested, except for the former GFA president.
Why?
Kwesi Nyantakyi.
You have congratulated everybody.
No, I'll tell you this. This society is benched on discipline. We have a social justice role to play as human beings. Don't sit back and say, I don't want to say it. If you don't want to say it, excuse me to say, fools will say it for you.
Okay.
Imagine a community where you and I, because let me tell you one trick the Ghanaian politician has succeeded in doing, majority of the Ghanaian politicians have succeeded in doing. They've cowed some of the citizens in believing that politics, as they say, is for the people who have called themselves politicians. It's not true. It's not true. Everybody must be interested in politics. Even in your house, we're doing politics. You wake up in the morning, you need something from mommy or daddy, you have to lobby one person to go. Maybe your siblings to agree that, oh, today, maybe you want rice that day, and maybe you can see signs of Banku coming in.
Yeah.
You can tell your siblings to go and lobby mommy. You can, and that's consensus building. Nothing changes. It starts from home, in families, in churches. Everywhere there's politics. It is a process. Politics is a process of mind building. At some point, we can all agree. Maybe you even think I spoke with him before you spoke with him. Because at some point, our minds will come for the good of all. At some point, we may disagree, and we need to lobby him on board. At another point, we may also agree to disagree. That even though this is what you people think, I think it is expensive. So, well, you have the numbers. Go ahead. But I sit back. All this makes politics a beautiful thing. And that's how come, look, sometimes even if you don't do politics, you don't do the I vote for whatever, leaders will emerge. But which breed of leaders are emerging?
Yeah.
Okay? It's a deliberate thing. Go to other countries. You will see that corrupt president having a strong base of people because they deliberately lobby people on board. And that's politics. Lobbying, sharing ideas. But what do they share with the people and what did they implement? You look at what, go and bring the manifestos of the political parties and look through it. If that was what we were achieving for this country, then you and I will have only to come and sit here and be appreciated and giving directions to the many good things that have been done already. Now back to this election thing, and why am I saying this against one gentleman? Is this hidden news that he was corrupt? He was on video. He was caught on video saying things that were not proper, corrupt things.
And the president even at the time dissociated himself from
the comments.
From the comments as well, yeah.
He was actually, he had some brushes with the security services in this country. Same person was actually given the slap by FIFA and CAF.
A life ban.
You think all these bodies sat down and they just made these are international bodies. And then you see a person like that come back again. He's not even finished serving some of the punishments. And then you throw away your moral garment as a country and open up for such a person to contest. I'm sure even the 35 people.
But legally, what stops him from contesting?
You see, this country, this world, humanity is not only on legal whatever you're talking about.
Okay.
The world is based on ethics, respect for self and others. What you have done in Ghana, I am not going to actually fun. When you do fun, you don't come out here and expect me to worship you. It is fun.
Okay.
In this country, you've had people who were royals, who were qualified to be, chiefs, in fact, kings in their kingdom. But because of the early happenings, it was taken away from them. And you know it yourself. Look, when we were little, when we had little information, we were little. When we were voting in the classroom, those miscreants, people who misbehave in the class, have you seen them voting for one of them to be class prefect? It's a magic. Go to society. We grew up with it. When you go and nominate one of their drunk mates, they'll tell you, oh, it happened in Citi, one of my hall of residence. We were looking for a gentleman. I mean, he was economically sharp, but Charlie, young man, you know, the bottle small. Boys said no. Because of that, his behavior, we will not put him there. So you see, amongst the people, we want one person to lead, and we won't just go and select just anybody. A clean sheet. Why do we have vetting? If it's an all play all, and we are only going to do academics, like you just have the person to come and show one paper, and then, but we vet people. To the extent people even go into issues to look at their marital issues, their children. It won't be recorded on the paper, but people discuss all these for them to even look at where their votes will go. I'm so tempted to believe that even the 35 people, maybe they didn't know about these issues I'm talking about. I'm so serious about it because we are suffering from corruption as a country. One of the, in fact, the biggest problem of this country is corruption. The biggest problem of this country is corruption. The one the Auditor General finds in the report is the one that there are areas that the pickups couldn't go. There are potential problems where people will go and see their own friends who have actually stolen and they'll forgive them. There are issues where people are also corrupt and then they are even going to investigate people and they can be double corrupt by letting the people away. After all these seepages that has passed through the pipe, the few that we got is a huge numbers you see that comes through the Auditor General's report. And so I'm saying, look, if tomorrow I find myself in the same situation, the only different thing you will see is not that I'll be begging for people to consider my issue. The only thing you see from Jeffrey Okansi is I have shame. Me, I have shame. Even at a point, this gentleman was speaking back even when we knew we have heard the video. What is wrong with Ghana? What I thought is wrong. But you see, it's a reflection. All these that are happening is a reflection of the moral fiber of the country. The country itself is drowned in corruption. So a person who is corrupt is a normal person. We are seeing it. FIFA report.
We've come to accept it, and that's the way it is.
And
that's who we are.
In another country, with this issue on your neck, even after you've cleared it, you need to prove paper evidence. And there should be, a reportage from those bodies to show that, look, ABC clearance, because they saw this investigation document, which showed. But this is a video of a man who was saying he had my president in his pocket. He said a lot. And after saying that, he was actually taking through certain processes, and we saw it. Then you allow him to go and begin from nowhere less, but a member of parliament. And when we are going to vote on an issue, your guess should be like mine if you want to think straight. Okay. The problem of this country remains a thinking problem.
Mensah.
Gogo, are you sure you want to hear my comment on
Yes, I do. Very much so.
Well, I mean, it was an interesting contest. you know, it was a very interesting contest. But before I come to the contest itself, you know, to a very large extent over the weekend, we've all come to realize that indeed Ghanaians have very, very, very short memories. And the participation of Mr. Kwesi Nyantakyi in this presidential primary, parliamentary primaries confirms indeed how short the memories of Ghanaians are. What were the claims of Mr. Nyantakyi on the announced investigations? That he has the president in his pocket, and that if you give him money, he'll give the president 5, give the vice president 4, and all that. What was the response given by government communicators? That Kwesi Nyantakyi was, they said he was, they have a term that they call, they say it's not bragging, they said he was, not attention seeking. Oh, they have this term for people who try to, you know,
name dropping.
Yes, name drop people, courting people. No, they have a term for it. They say it was just, they say, no, how can Kwesi Nyantakyi have the president in his pocket? How can, they say he's not even a member of their party. So
and the president himself came out to
debunk it, right? And then, how many years down the line? The investigation was when, in 2018? Was it 2018?
I think so.
Yeah. So just a few years down the line, now, the ruling government who said they don't know Kwesi Nyantakyi, and that he was just bragging on the tape, cleared him to contest in their presidential primaries, in their parliamentary primaries, on the ticket of their party. Somebody they don't know.
With all the charges still hanging on his head.
Yeah. They don't know him. They don't know Kwesi Nyantakyi from anywhere. All the things he was saying on the table were not true. They were lies. He doesn't even know the president. Do you think that the president will stoop so low?
Well, they've come to know him since then.
Since then. They came
2018. No, I mean, how else can you rationalize?
No, but he's right. I mean, relationship are built maybe after issues.
Over time.
Really? After the president reported him to the CID? That was when the relationship was built?
Yeah, maybe he went back to apologize and, you know, to err is human.
And they now accepted him as a member of their party?
Maybe he did, you see, somebody should do something for you to be able to accommodate them.
You see?
Maybe he did the things that, he was doing the things that they loved.
The vetting committee cleared Mr. Nyantakyi to contest this election. It's a huge indictment on the government. It confirms all the expose of Anas in that period. Kwesi Nyantakyi's participation in this
No, but the
primaries.
functioning of the party is different from the government.
Kwaku, please, let's not play the ostrich. You see, some of these things make people angry.
I'm not playing the ostrich.
You know, sometimes we want to.
If MPPs,
sometimes let's credit the people out there with some intelligence.
Machinery and there's a party.
No way. It's a party that gives birth to a government.
Into this.
Please, it's a party that gives birth to a government.
Yes, but the government is acting independently of the party.
Are you saying that I don't know the president from anywhere, I make unfounded allegations against the president and the sitting vice president, and then tomorrow I go and pick forms to contest in their parliamentary primaries, and they'll clear me? If those allegations were a lie, at the vetting committee, the first thing the vetting committee will ask me to do is to prove my allegations against the sitting president and the vice president.
But that's 6 years ago.
So
a lot of water has
so there seems to be corruption. There seems to be an indictment. 6 years.
The party's moved on.
Please, there's no statute on limitation on criminal offenses in Ghana.
That's
please,
true.
Anything that is criminal,
I agree,
or corruption-wise, please, even if it's 100 years, you know, we still treat it very, very seriously. And so, just by claiming Mr. Nyantakyi to participate in this presidential parliamentary primaries, confirms all the allegations against. And when I heard Mr. Nyantakyi speaking, actually on tape, telling people that he actually offered a bribe to Anas, and that Anas only brought the tape out because no,
it's like in spite of the bribe he gave him,
because he couldn't raise the $150,000 they were asking for. He could only raise 100,000. Jesus Christ! And he wasn't arrested. Bribery is a huge offense in this country. And in bribery, there's a giver and a taker. So bribery is not only an offense to the receiver, against the receiver, the giver as well. And this time around, he was the one who is admitting on live television that he offered bribe. Jesus Christ. And Kweku, to contest in the parliamentary elections, one of the requirements, high moral standard. High moral standard.
And he doesn't attain it. He doesn't reach that standard.
By admitting on live television that he offered bribe. You think if Ghana was any serious country, he could even go to the polling center and collapse over there? They would have picked him up before he went to collapse. But, it confirms, you see, it shows how corruption, how the Akufo-Addo Bawumia regime, how they are so receptive of corruption. They eat and dine with people. They love corruption. They embrace corruption. In fact, the moment, and you see how they get rid of people who are so-called, incorruptible. Look at how they got rid of Martin Amidu so easily. They got rid of Mr. Domelevo so easily. And they embrace Nyantakyi. Wow! Clap for this government.
But were these not legal in terms of when
but
you say
no, please. This matter is overflogged. Let's come to the issue itself. I think, you see, for the primary, I think that, for me, the number of people who contested in this by-elections alone was a problem for me, because this is not a major primary. This is a by-election. It was as if all these people were waiting for the guy to go so they can come and take over the
no, but opportunity presents itself.
Yes,
Why not?
But for a party that has lost a certain member of parliament, you would expect a certain level of, people. Even people who are so eager to contest will slow down a bit, because it was a very painful loss.
Yeah.
And so the number of people was quite problematic. You would expect 2-3 people coming up, but about 6-7 people was very, very unhealthy.
Okay.
Then let me end there. Then it looks like, the guy who won, seemed to have had problems with the certain MP, Mr. Kuma, before he passed. And so, there are issues that even before he passed, he wasn't in talking terms with a certain MP before he passed. And so if you look at the outcome of the primaries, you could see that all the anti-John Kuma elements within the constituency voted for him, and then those pro ones voted for others that shared. The lady who came second, Mrs. Helena Mensah,
yes,
who is also the presiding member for the constituency, was supposed to have won this race, if you look at the dynamics within the constituency. But if you look at later, some people joined in the primaries that made it worse. But I'm predicting that this guy is going to be a one-term member of parliament. The next primaries he's going to lose out, and there's somebody else going to fill up that post. Yeah.
Quick